just like a standard style of gameplay will most likely actually Yangon Galacticus not going as north as we're used to seeing them. They're going to be a bit more south, which doesn't change up too much necessarily, but still could be a little bit weird for their competition. For 33Z, Weibo Gaming, come on. We look at you to be the front runner to break the top two, and you already lost one.
They haven't lost them yet.
Not just yet, but
just yet.
We'll see.
Very certain that they are going to lose it very soon,
There
but
it is.
not yet.
They're going up. They're trying.
Oh, no, they did push back.
They're all in one vehicle. We know this is not necessarily a good thing.
I hate it so much. Stop that. Thank you very much. Goodness me. ALTEREGO, hop out of the vehicle, dropped you off, and they haven't actually confirmed this flush just yet. So, looks like they're not even going to try. Just going to get away, get out of there. I mean, disengaging, maybe a good idea.
Still not very close enough, at least. Not as close as you would want to be, right, to the rest of the others. But they get back in. Oh, maybe a trap has been set. Oh. They forgo one. Oh, excuse me, ALTEREGO's fire back onto Weibo. They forgo one cleanup, potentially getting two now. I see the math. It's working out.
Hey, look, he's still down behind that rock. A limited supply of players on two now remaining standing. Redox is circling again, giving them an aerial display as they threaten to take down Jiggle. Koa pumping into the smoke with that pump action shotgun. Nade over the top. Jiggle should not be long for this game. Another nade over the top, and the airburst is good.
Good stuff. One of the strongest starts we've seen from Falcons in quite some time. Koa, a bit of an issue there with the car, but that's all right. He's going to get picked back up onto it.
Forwarded to them. Yangon Galacticos, potentially one of those teams behind them. I mean, Doc's just, I mean, they're just pumping, right? They're just popping shots. Actually, 4 thrives.
Exactly.
Yet again, maybe a side swipe from Chumaseta.
Yeah, that's the risk you take when you go center zone, especially with a zone such as this. You know there's going to be third parties, and with it, without a doubt, and they do decide to send in on Noxium Red Force. Meanwhile, for ALTEREGOs, fighting on the right side, the opposite side of where Falcons and Noxium Red Force are currently engaging. Soulless, there's the sliver of health, slips away. Krypton has a chance, and he'll take it. Taking down Scarface, reducing the numbers even more for Fireflux.
Fireflux rolling up like a sushi conveyor belt. Krypton chows down on him, able to knock them straight on out of the vehicle as it flies on past. Add that one to the bill, thank you very much. For Elims now for ALTEREGO as they post up on the east side of the circle.
We knew this fight was going to take place, not themselves, which could be incredibly valuable depending on where the next zone shifts. So a critical fight for them to take with Tizzy in the smoke. Falcons need to keep their head on a swivel and not just blast on Biome. That UMP is going to knock them out.
Nade in from Koa could find Tizzy if he gets the bounce right. He knows there's a person in here now with the damage tag, and Koa immediately able to put him down there. Again, that's the warehouse now controlled. The longhouse is next up. These are a lot harder to take control of than the warehouses. But the question is, do they need to right now? They've got control of this. Warehouse could potentially be third-partied by a team like Yangon Galacticos, and the longhouse still has some teeth to it. Don't necessarily need to push just yet.
Need to keep Narvalo up. Going to be very difficult to do. XCY forced to retreat now, and that should give an ample amount of time to get Narvalo.
They have drawn the attention. The sharks are circling.
Yes.
And that is one great white off in the distance.
And I worry about Ralph. I loved his off angle, but now start to question will Mernat from Yangon Galacticus be able to hit the shots needed. But the pressure's in, the commitment has been sent, and Doc C down to a sliver of health, and in fact he's going to be fully dropped off of that. And Falcons look to win this in full fashion with all 4 players last alive. The question is, what can the last remaining member of Noxium Red Force do?
Circle counting them in on the edge of the circle as well. They're going to be happy to hold this fight for a little bit longer. XZY on the outside though, spots Koa, looks for the flush as well. I think he was denied and gets cut down by Narvalo, who was rezzed earlier, putting that him on the compound there that sits out to it. It'll take a fight over towards Yangon Galacticos, right?
Yeah.
As much as you might not want to, it could have been the easier option there.
I still think they would have lost.
Crashing onto the duo, maybe. Yeah, it's difficult to say, you know, it's difficult to do what ifs here, but Yangon Galacticos maybe struggling against the last player from Horror, who will fall in the end with a little assist from Noki in the distance. And Yangon Galacticos, hey, you know what? Yeah, let's give them a break, guys. They've had a real tough time of it so far.
Galacticus, and well, they're going to go ahead and return the nades themselves, and they can still make it out of this. If I'm 4 Thrives, I get aggressive on this, start mowing them down, start shooting into the smoke. You need to silence this roster now.
The difficulty is that northern flank, and of course across the way the team's holding the compound. It is so nerve-wracking to make this call. They're not quite in the position to do so. Noki over the angle may be a linchpin position for them, but he doesn't really have sightlines over the Yangon Galacticos. The thing is, committing for this position when your 4 Thrives may be a little bit of a bridge too far, and I think that slipping around the sidelines may be better in the long run for them positionally.
Okay, it seems to be the case. Don't know how much value you're really going to gain sending it to the hardcover compound where Ida is currently at. Now, for Alter Egos, though, straight into Fireflux. This was a duo that was dismantled early on, who has been staying alive center zone, but now as they do get pressured, they once again have to fight for their lives in the final game of the day. And Madcap very weak. His partner just to his right taken down. Madcap tries to recover with a little bit of health. He'll get the medkit pop to time to fire onto Alpha, but is it enough? Can he continue to stay up? Can he continue to fight Alter Egos? The answer is no.
They will be able to roll back, and Yangon Galacticos are going to go right now headlong into the compound here. SaeCloud down first, Smile and Myrna trying to put pressure in down the line. Rita goes down now. So is Emre, and Smile wants to keep Emre, and Smile wants to keep SaeCloud alive. Denied that opportunity though, as it will be shut down. Eren from across the way, putting nades on in, that splits Myrna, and he's shot down with the nade from across the distance. Over in that warehouse, they hold strong. 2 players for the top of the table team. It's Romeo and Smile to try and piece things back together against Ida.
Flashed Smile down, Romeo now forced to go at it straight ahead. It's a battle for sure. The winner of this getting a plethora of points. But Weibo comes in, and Weibo needs a big game. This could be massive for them if they can somehow, someway as a duo, wipe these 2 rosters and get a deep run. That'll put up closer to 100, but as order falls, Sook last alive. The chances of that happening now fall to the wayside.
Not really super likely to happen in the first place, but Eren on this off angle in the warehouse has been instrumental throughout this entire fight. With just Romeo remaining, he was able to cut across the sideline of Yangon Galacticos' position for so long. Beautiful stuff coming through on the off angle for the young Firecracker player Eren over on Ida.
Romeo, the last one standing, being on Galacticus, trying to fight. Here comes the push, and it is going to be good as Darkin gets the final shots. Yangon Galacticos out earlier than they wanted once again, but let's face it, still healthy. But now APG has a direct route into first place to set the point threshold.
Ooh, DRX as well. Remember, they're a team with a chance to push up towards the top of the tables. They have 4 players alive. Unfortunately, they're on the wrong side of the road for this one. The nades are pretty good over towards the arena, though. That's going to be more damage being dealt on out. The garage really not providing too much cover here. You just need to keep these nades coming on through. DRX going to have to move a little bit further north with Alter Ego lighting up their crossing. Krypton finds so easy, but Hyunbin does find the way all the way across. Gets the spray down onto one, but cut through by the rest of the arena. Joker and Mormon holding face for now. And DRX having a tough time of getting across this roadside.
Very tough time indeed. And in fact, Weibo's going to be fully finished off. There was a down player earlier. We knew Sook was going to try and go at it alone. For APG, a chance to dethrone Yangon Galacticus, who has been in first place for the longest time. But the question is, can they pressure up? Can they take down Ragnar Kari? And I just don't know if they're going to be able to. It's going to be a tough spot to be in without question. APG already has a downed player. This is truly going to be a testament of their skills.
3 players, but only 2 of them up and standing. The off-angle dispatched now. Rek and Kaya have the blue zone to play around, but they have to leave as well. Top taken very, very low there for Alpha Gaming as Yol breaks out wide, a little bit more healthy. Needs to find a needle on the side of Rek and Kaya, but can't quite find it. The haystack too dense to be able to piece it together. Wild looking to sweep the legs. Yol goes down. Alpha Gaming most likely falling here to the blue zone, and the final tag is good. Rek and Kaya, 4 players alive. Now they need to turn their attention northwards. And
I don't think it was enough to overtake first place, so top place should go to Yangon Galacticus, who hold on tight, but APG so close. We focus on the remaining teams left, and of course as we look at Power, who's had a decent day, but will this be the shining example of what they can do in the finals? Well, maybe not so, as they're down to a solo.
Teams are ripping shreds out of each other along this ridgeline that sits central to the circle right now. Power were there for the longest time, but now they've only got Ragnar to contend on this high ground. ALTEREGO pushed in from the east side. They are playing as three, one of the main forces in this circle, but Regnum Kaya on the south side, they had four, but Sakura wants to change that. Maybe a chance to take them low. Will go in with the shotgun and again takes another player down, and Irina not going to go down without a fight just yet. Regnum Kaya, Day getting ruined right now to close it down. Loxy back to the blue, not much wiggle room to play with.
They might have few points, but they are mighty, but from the off angle, taken down before the story can truly get started. Now down to our top four rosters, and well, things start to get exciting for Regnum Kaya. 2 players down. The question is, can they get Wild and Loxy back into the fight? And you also got a question for Silas. How much of an impact can he have against ALTEREGOs? He's in the forward position, and I believe ALTEREGOs know exactly where he's at.
Silas needs to hold this face here, right? For Regnum Kaya, they need the control of this open ground that sits in front of them. 20 seconds was enough to get those reses before the zone pushed on in. They can get a little bit of healing done, but the vehicle's low. Roseberry now pushing up, and that's the rest of Power dispatched. Ida as well, playing up and on that ridgeline from the western side. Regnum Kaya finally able to get away, and as 4 players, this may just be done and dusted.
This might be, but you got to give credit where credit is. Oh, what a nade from a distance. Darkin throws it just right. Krypton down. And ALTEREGOs, 2 members to fight with. Ida keeping the pressure on, which is only even better news for Regnum Kaya with all 4 players alive. Surely this is their game to take. It's been a while since they've been in the winner's circle, a while since they've had a winner chicken dinner. Surely they can get the job done this time around.
Next stage will close dead center. That sits close to Alva's position right now. You can see that high ground there is under their control, but Ida could take the angle here, and Regnum Kaya obviously with these nades, that looks pretty good. I don't think that ALTEREGO are going to be able to hold this position for much longer. Regnum Kaya should just be able to swell over this. That nade looks good, and there's the knock that they were looking for. ALTEREGO want to try and take a player or 2 down against Regnum Kaya. They'll need to find this opening, but they've now lost their forward position, and it's just so hard to find these openings.
Ooh, and that's a big down onto Darkin. That's going to drop the players from Ida down to just a solo. ALTEREGOs at a duo. Loxy weak, no worries. He's got teammates for a reason. Slowly but surely, Regnum Kaya start to push forward. ALTEREGOs, they're back against the wall. They still have to worry about the solo from Ida, who's going to be Aaron, who's trying his best to stay up as long as possible. But Wild wants to take his head off.
We'll go for the spray, and there's the connection. Regnum Kaya now in a full face 2v4. It's their advantage. Silas leading from the front. They've got 9 Elims. They can add that up to 11. That will be a 21-point chicken dinner and put them nice and healthily for a podium competition spot at the end of day 2 here in the grand finals. Silas again pushing around the edge with that UMP, the AUG in the back pocket as well, facing down against Rosemary and an MG3. That is not a friendly sight to see, but he's got his teammates where Rosemary does not.
Great shots. That at least helps a little bit. Rosemary, a guy that's been known to clutch up 7 eliminations for the day. Silas goes over the hill. Rosemary guns him down. Is this the end? Will Regnum Kaya choke the final engagement despite the man advantage? Well, it's up to Krypton, and Krypton's hitting the shots needed. Krypton might be able to do this for ALTEREGOs. He only has a couple of players to take care of. He goes to challenge on the Loxy, but it's not enough. You can't reset this. You can't get Rosemary back into the fight. You just have to keep pushing.
Regnum Kaya choke on the first push, and now Krypton in a 1 versus 2. Loxy and Wild for Regnum Kaya, trying to keep this one in the back pocket. ALTEREGO have 14 Elims. No way are they going to let Rosemary get this res. Regnum Kaya dropping the ball here for Loxy. No, he steps back again. Are you kidding me, Regnum Kaya? That's not going to work out. Krypton, no way. And how on earth do they let that happen? It's ALTEREGO to find a wild opening onto Regnum Kaya. That is crazy. What a massive blunder.
Massive blunder indeed. That is insanity. I cannot believe my eyes. I cannot believe what just happened. Alter Egos stand their ground. Magnum Karia, despite the man advantage, can't get the job done. And that right there pretty much puts a cap on the entirety of today's performance. Teams dropping the ball where they need to pick it up the most. But for Alter Egos, really the crowd favorite, a team that is looking to make history, might have just put themselves in the ballpark of potentially winning a championship.
What a dropped ball there. Magnum Karia with a 6-point swing on that as well. In that engagement, they would have 6 more points if they'd have been able to win that. And it was theirs. It was theirs for the taking. He was super low. He had nothing going for him. They allowed